Hello and welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to be 100% completing Assassin's Creed Rogue. What's going on? What's going on? I can still continue. I'm gonna just have a quick look. Ubisoft Connect is launched. And I'm logged in. I don't know what that was. I think maybe it just glitched for a second and thought that I wasn't signed in or something. Anyway, everything's fine. Hello and welcome to the stream. Tonight I'm going to be 100% completing Assassin's Creed Rogue. Technically, it already says 100% here, but that's not really correct. There are things outside of the Animus to do. So, let's go do them. Out. Yeah, thank you. So,
I'm just saying that Violet didn't have to yell at us for not fixing the elevator before she did.
I can't believe she made you cry like that.
She said
Tablets.
some very hurtful things. I don't want to talk about it
where they are.
anymore.
So I'm going to start in
Sorry, but this is a restricted area.
basement. Which way?
I'm bored out of my skull. But orders are orders, and my orders are to stand right here.
So I think there are only 3 left, and then we've got to go through all the story that I've unlocked and not read, including the cave paintings. That's obviously the documents, the emails between documents. Oh, no, that's awesome. I received a follow. Thank you, Fanboy Sterex, for following while I was offline. Gotta be very careful not to miss them.
My ass is gonna explode if I don't go now.
Talents. There weren't people down here before. I did check down here, but I missed it somewhere in the building. This is the place we were locked up in Assassin's Creed Rogue. Not always on the floor, they can be on surfaces, so I do need to check all the planes. They won't be up above though, as far as I'm aware. Also, my tablet should react with the sound. Chocolate. Wait. Yeah, it's got a 3D wrapper and everything. I thought it was an image then. Okay, so it's not in the basement living quarters. Could be amongst the servers because there was like a little maze there. There's some chicken. is this working? Oh, that's the lady in charge of all this, isn't it? What's that? No? Okay. Oh, there's one. I missed that before. $14.18, that's all that's left. It's probably just a little nook really, but I haven't spotted it. Hey, Erland, welcome back. About 100% indeed, yeah. I just picked up a tablet right there on the floor. There are two more. I'm not sure where they're. I think it's 14 and 18 I need to find. Yeah, 14 and 18. So if they have fixed locations and people want to drop in somewhere to them, let's go. You're allowed to backseat a little bit, right? So I've just checked every room back here. Now we'll go up to the CEO office. His clothes. Change the model to a broken one when you throw. CCO, I guess. Okay. It's nice to see this place not as a ghost town, but I like it in my way. Is that turn back the sofa, is it? Doubtful.
I'm hungry.
I thought he was security. Alright, it's not here. Maybe in the office itself.
I hope Abstergo didn't pay a lot of money for these ugly statues.
That's rude.
I just don't get modern art.
Why are there people in Melanie's office? Wait. What? First of all, that's not her desk. Second, what is with the facing? And now she's still not even on the secret.
I just don't get modern art.
A gun? There's just a gun resting here. What? you know what? I think that's part of the final cutscene where Otso pulls a gun as one of your options. I think it's just been left in the scene because it was right here they were chatting. Another glitch. Another bug in another Assassin's Creed game. Ubisoft out. Software. I saw a classic glitch yesterday from years ago when the ship rows out the sea after all the crew is headed to the heavens. I couldn't really fly. Very clever. One of the developers even commented saying it was that to fix it. I wished it had stayed how it was. You don't get this place. This is Abstergo Entertainment. They're the people who did research into the DNA ancestral memories in order to create products and make money with the stories. But also, what's really important to Abstergo Industries is getting the history, the secrets from important people, not just the Assassin Brotherhood in general. Finding out where all the artifacts are. See, I'm pretty quiet. What? Can you hear me? Hang on. Is that better? My mic was a little bit further away than usual. Okay. I don't know. I haven't changed any of the settings. It's just positioned further away.
I'm bored out of my skull. But orders are orders, and my orders are to stand right here.
Well, you or him? Those books are floating. Naughty. I wouldn't be surprised if the tablet is just amongst a load of books, but I missed it that way. It doesn't seem to be the case. Oh! That surely wasn't there before. Maybe because I went around the other way before I didn't see this side? Okay, so all I need now is 40? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yep. Just number 14. Okay, so if I was going the other way around, yeah, and I came along this way to leave, then obviously I wouldn't have seen it there. So I should do my usual route backwards.
How about now? No?
Might see other things.
Now? No. Shit. Why isn't this working?
How can you dismiss it without even playing it? Are there PvP death matches in it?
These hand-drawn animations are fantastic.
We're making good progress here.
Alright, let's go to the upstairs offices through the rooms that were unlocked, because I had to go through them over time. It's possible I went round one direction, not the other, like I did down here. So in each office now I'll go round one way, and then back around the same office the other way. So, to start with, we'll go to this level 3. Now, I probably went that way first, so this time we'll go this way.
I don't get it. It's like there's a big hole where the Arnodorian data should be.
So the guy talking about the Arnodorian data missing, does that mean that Assassin's Creed Unity is going to be done by the Assassin Brotherhood, not Abstergo, because they stole all the data so they get to explore it instead of this character?
I don't get it. It's like there's a big hole where the Arnodorian data should be.
Right, not there then. Then just straight across. Wait, there's an extra corridor here we can't go into.
Whoa.
Or is it just
This place is a fucking disaster piece.
Oh! Did I just never go in this bathroom? What the? That's the cultist symbol, isn't it? From Black Flag, present day. It's the... I forgot what it's called. They're the people who believe in the voice in the grey, or whatever you want to call it. It's the First Will, yeah. The followers of the First Will. So they want to do what the precursor race wanted. So they want to be slaves to the precursor race. Also, now that I've actually looked at this, it's appeared on the menu. Oh, now I can go get the gun there. Where is this? I don't remember there being a bridge over a river like this with a tunnel next to a barn. What is this place? Painting of a remote area with a mark spot somewhere to remember this location. So there's no hint as to where in the world it is. I don't know where it actually is. Let's go get that gun. Where's my desk?
I'm bored out of this. But orders are orders, and my orders are to stand right here.
What? Leave the animus. Oh no, that's just the decline. Yep, final item. That's right. Congratulations, special rewards unlocked. Check out something. I didn't catch the rest of it. I wish it weren't so bloody fast. I don't think it's going to be... Wait. I was going to say it's probably not here because it's city, but what if it's on the outskirts? There are any tiny little rivers with bridges. That's a bridge, right? Those are bridges. That's a barn type thing, right? I will check the world maps as well. It's a regular bridge. Says that. Yeah, no tunnel bridges. Alright, so let's check the world. That's the native armor, if I've already got that. Says use phone in present day to check. Yeah, if you use the tablet, you look at that picture that we saw. It doesn't say where that place is here, though. Oh, unless maybe we got a message? Did we get a message? No. Just have that file. Maybe it makes me think that we've crossed this bridge at some point. I just don't remember it at all. Oh wait. Wait, I do remember one of these actually. We were infiltrating a place. We started on the other end. We had to follow a guy as he went through here with a key or something, or a letter. Was that this game or the previous one though? Blurred together. Yeah, you see these little juts on the side? That's where I had to sneak. What mission was that? I might be able to tell from the sequences. It's a location in River Valley. Okay, that's a good hint. Ultimate Stogo Entertainment Award. Wasn't that? Don't think it was those. It wasn't that one. Infiltrate the Albany Congress to retrieve the manuscript from James Wardrop. Sneak into Congress and detect. Some guy was trying to leave our presence after talking. And do you remember he crossed a bridge and he was saying to the guards, I think someone's following me. And they're like, well, I doubt it, but we'll have a look anyway. And then we did sneak past them along the side of the bridge. And I even redid that because I messed up. Why were we following the guy? It was in a city area. Or a little town, I guess. I don't remember where it is though. There was a message being sent, I think. Right, so it's in River Valley, we know that much. It's a town or some sort. Was it Albany? Is it right there? I don't think it is, but let's have a look. There's a bridge over a river. I just don't know if it's open or closed. Open or shuttered. Can't see. Wait. Which direction? Yeah, I'll go in there. That's an open bridge. Is there a closed one? No. So it's not this place. There's another open bridge there. I don't think there's a closed one there. I think it was one of the main places. Actually, no, it can't be because it's River Valley, and that's the only main place in River Valley. I think we'll be able to tell if there's something over the bridge, so it's not that. It's not there. No. It wouldn't be in a fort, it would be a little town. Oh. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is gonna be it. Yeah, this looks right, because I ended up sneaking along the side here, and the guy kept walking along, and we were on the rooftops watching him. This is it. Yeah. That's it. And that's the barn next to it. I think. Or is this? No, this is the barn next to it. That's it! It's just marked it for me.
A slave revolt has broken out in Guyana, in the Dutch colony of Berbice. Over 3,000 slaves have begun burning plantation houses as a protest to their perceived treatment. Troops from neighbouring French and British colonies have mobilised to quell
Final
this
item
uprising.
in the entire game.
Hear ye, hear ye! All good citizens are asked to notify a governor, churchman, or educator
English
at the
percussion
first
flint
sight of a
pistols.
potential outbreak of disease. Should any man or child suffer from yellow fever or smallpox, act immediately.
Tee.
Good citizens within the sound of my voice. There is a plague of wild
Let me get some ammo and actually use these pistols. No? Yes. Oh, it gave me darts. The guy had a gun.
We
But he
did
gave
it
me
last.
darts. What the hell? Why are all these guys giving me darts and no bullets? Silly game. Whatever, there's a weapon shop in front of me. Let's cross that bridge I was looking for. Then I can stock up on all the other stuff too. Then I won't have the, Is this supposed to be Halloween here or something, or do they just happen to grow pumpkins? Sudden storm, okay. Yeah, once I fill all the ammunition, I won't have the... You can craft the ammunition.
Welcome. Do come in.
sure why they have different stats. That's it then.
Most excellent. My thanks.
Let's try these guns out. Not good. Still don't know what's
You think we'd let you do this? Find the fight.
And my enemy's back. Right, there we go. I used the final item. Now let's. Go to the office. I can view the database from out of the Animus, can't I? Can't I? Can I? I can't! Oh my gosh. Alright, I have to go back in the Animus to read the database. Do I think I'll do Unity today? The problem is I started really late. And I don't have it installed as well. I had a whole bunch of things to do today, and I ended up not doing them because I had terrible sleep last night. I was falling asleep during stream, as you know. I went to bed about 2 o'clock. I woke up at 4. I woke up again at a bad time, and then finally I woke up just before I needed to leave it, well, do stuff at 10 o'clock. So I've had bad sleep, and I gotta head out in the morning. So I'm not gonna be staying up late tonight. But tomorrow night, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm only reading the ones I haven't read. So, Jack Weeks. He's the Templar guy that helped us a few times. He also disguised with us at one point. It was weird to see him dressed as one of the guards. Or was it assassins? Jack Weeks. 1723, died unknown. Jack Weeks was born in Albany to a couple who escaped slavery in Virginia. They taught him to be independent and to take advantage of any opportunity to better himself. At the age of 10 weeks, began to work as a pickpocket and thief at local markets. Weeks attempted to pick the pockets of explorer and Templar Christopher Gist. Gist caught him in the act, but was so impressed by the boy's cheeky attitude that he hired him as an errand boy. Gist took him on his travels and taught him about trade and how to mimic people of various social status and origins. We have read this, it must just be the update at the end we haven't read. In 1750, Gist was hired to explore the lands west of the colonies, and so introduced Weeks to George Monroe. Gist suggested the officers should take the young man on as an assistant. Weeks impressed Monroe with his cleverness and adaptability. Can't speak. Monroe taught Weeks about the Templars and their goals. Weeks admired Monroe's intellect and agreed with the Templar philosophy of crowd control. When Gist joined the Templar Order in 1751, Monroe agreed to induct Jack Weeks as well. After narrowly avoiding death at Shay's hands, Weeks stuck close to George Monroe. When Monroe was killed by assassins, he found himself working with a former enemy, as Shay Cormac was now fighting against his former brotherhood with the Templars. One of his descendant, James Weeks, would go on to found Weeksville in New York. Yeah, I definitely knew that guy existed, that's why I said James here. Yeah. Liam O'Brien, our old best friend. 1726 to 1760. I can skip most of this because we've read it all, it's just the end. We read all about him becoming an assassin. There we go. Liam was tasked to keep an eye on the latest recruit. Right, and here's the new info. Liam and Shay were close together. No. Liam and Shay were close friends until the latter turned his back on the assassins over the use of precursor artifacts. Liam was instrumental in retrieving the artifacts for the assassins and managed to kill the high-ranking Templar George Munver in the process. Missing the word there. Later, Shay killed Liam to take back the manuscript. Man, what a simple footnote. It didn't mention that Liam set off the device that would destroy loads of lives or anything at the end. Shay Patrick Cormac, our main character. How long is this? It's so long. But I've read a lot of it, so... Okay. Let's go from the beginning, because this is the entire storyline of our main character. This is probably the most important entry in all these people. Here we go. Shay Patrick Cormac, born 1731, died unknown. He survived till at least the end of the game, which leads into the start of Assassin's Creed Unity. Shay was born in New York City to immigrants from Dublin, Ireland. His mother died in childbirth and his father served in the Merchant Marine. While visiting his father at the docks one day, Shay met an older boy, Liam O'Brien, and the two became friends. Shay was raised by his aunt in a poor and dangerous neighbourhood, and Liam helped Shay learn how to fend for himself. By the tender age of 8, Shay earned a reputation as a brawler, and his father brought him aboard his ship. Shay was always on the lookout for an adventure, and although he would miss his friend Liam, he eagerly agreed and began to work for a living. Shay began to train with a sword and pistol so he could join the crew in fending off pirates. In one such incident, Shay single-handedly faced down and shot a pirate captain, saving his ship. In 1747, disaster struck at sea when a storm claimed many lives of Shay's crew, including his father. Shay returned to New York and spent his days wandering from one tavern to the next, starting one brawl after another. By chance, in 1748, Shay reunited with Liam O'Brien, who helped him get back on his feet. After that, the two became inseparable. Liam introduced Shay to Achilles and learned about the assassins and their creed. He joined them a year later, and his training was assigned to Liam and his fellow recruits Hope Jensen, Chevalier de la Vérendrye, and Kisagawase. Bromance alert V. As years passed, Shay grew increasingly resistant to the assassins' ways. He questioned Liam about the morality of their actions and the restrictions the mentor placed on them. Shay continued to obey until Achilles sent him to Europe on a mission to retrieve a precursor artifact. The mentor thought it would be an Apple of Eden, but Shay discovered too late that it was part of a system which he came to believe had been built to stabilize the world. Shay inadvertently triggered an earthquake that leveled Lisbon. Fun fact, we've been studying these temples for centuries and we still don't have any clue about what they do or why the first civilization built them. Were they weapons in their war against humans? Were they another desperate attempt to ward off the catastrophe that killed them? V. When he returned to warn Achilles of what he had discovered, the mentor refused to listen. Shay tried to stop the assassins and was branded a traitor, hunted down and left for dead. Shay escaped the assassins and found himself in New York, recovering from his injuries. Hey, when you two are done with this guy's genetic memories, can I use them? I think Shay's story would make a great virtual feature. ML. Well, I mean, yeah, we are playing the game, so I guess you're right, Melanie. Well, that's it. That's where it ends. Okay. Nothing about his time as a Templar, then. Huh. So that is every person. Now, really quickly, we can see the ships. It's the Argonaut. Cauldron is one of the legendary ships, along with the Pilgrim. Yeah, twins. Cordon, Experto Creed, which I think is Adibali's ship. Formidable, HMS Pembroke, Morrigan, that's our ship. Pilgrim, Scepter, the Equitas, the Guffort. Oh, it doesn't have the Storm thingy, the epic legendary ship. That's a shame. Landmarks. So we've read all except For Hope's Mansion. Okay, cool. Nice quick one. As an assassin and leader of New York's underworld, Hope Jensen used a mansion that was deadly and extravagant. Knowing it was a matter of when and not if she would be attacked, she had several traps built into the mansion to deal with intruders. Booby-trapped crime mansions are the new fairy princess castles, V. Right, now we get to stories. So, there are a bunch of letters that have been sent around, and they're not in the right order, I think. Yeah, see 4751. So, because they're alphabetical, which is useless to us, I'm gonna have to try and figure out the best way to do this. Can I... Alright, we know that there is 47. Is there one earlier than 47? 46. Okay, all over the world. Dead end. Ah, here we go. Death of the Executioner. 44. 38. Lawrence of America. 38. My Faithful Acolytes. Okay. So the first two are My Faithful Acolytes and... what was it? Lawrence of America. So, Master Washington. 3 years ago, I obtained a... Why did that just scroll? 3 years ago, I obtained a journal from Edward Kenway. Inspired by his discovery of the observatory, he dedicated many years of his life to seeking out other First Civilization sites. He found several vaults in Italy, of which we are already aware. There was a Holodate temple in Alamut, but the most interesting parts of the journal were his suspicions that something was hidden in the New World, a location so grand that it would make the observatory seem like a latrine. Okay, so he realized this world-connecting temple existed. I want this grand temple. I have set it as my order's highest priority, and I am using every asset at my disposal. I am reaching out to rights across the world. Whatever it contains, be it technology or knowledge, I will use to usher in a new age of peace. As a Master Templar, you have learned your lessons well, and have earned this opportunity. You are my eyes and ears in the New World now. Do not fail me, Lawrence. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Reginald Birch. So Reginald Birch is the leader of all the Templars, and he's based in London, I think. My Faithful Acolyte, so letter to Anto. From Francois Macadam. Anto, I reject your offer of help. I have recruited my own brotherhood, liberated from plantations. My faithful acolytes are all I need. They are willing to die for our cause. I reject your calls for peace. There will be no peace while the French continue to spread across Saint-Domingue like a plague. What would you know of peace raised by such a soft mentor as Azabai? If I found a precursor relic, I would not destroy it. I would use it as early and often as possible. My knowledge of the Brotherhood comes from its source, La Shaya Wakyun Motlak Bala Kolon Momkina. I understand these words in a way you never will. My creed is pure, undulated by centuries of weakness and compromise. If your so-called assassins oppose me, they may possibly die. If your so-called Maroons join me, they will surely die. All things end in death. It may as well be French deaths. Francois Macandal, Port-au-Prince. So that is the guy that Adewale went off to speak to at the beginning of this game. I can't remember exactly who he is. I think he is... I think he is the guy who taught the guy who then became the teacher of Evelyn in Liberation. So I think it's Evelyn's teacher's teacher, I think. So that was 38, yeah? 38, right. I think the next is 44. Yeah. Wait, no, I think I just saw 40. 42. 40. The first colonial assassin. 1740. Mentor, I have arrived in the British colonies to the north. While it saddens me to know that I will never see you again nor benefit from your wise counsel, I look forward to the challenge of creating a brotherhood here that will rival the one you created in Tulum. However, I have encountered the unexpected. I am not the first assassin to walk these lands. I have met a man called John de la Tour from a powerful and established family in Acadia to the north. He claims to be receiving instructions from the Assassin Council in France. De la Tour is attempting to build a network of information with the intention of more easily identifying any potential threats to the colonies. He has a theory that the New World likely contains precursor sites and artifacts, and while I suppose the Templars will eventually arrive here to siphon off a share of the natural resources, should a remnant of those who came before reveal itself, then they would descend upon the colonies like thunder. John intends to discover them first while building a brotherhood to protect them. He was right. When they found the Templar stuff, the precursor stuff, the Templars did descend on the colonies, or at least on the, not necessarily the colonies, but the natives. Wiped out their whole area just to get to it. John de la Tour is brash. He draws attention to himself, and for a time I thought he would surely compromise the Brotherhood, but I was wrong. He misdirects with charm. He hides in plain sight behind a smile. The people know that he's rich and that he's dangerous, but they never get a moment to question why. Still, he is unbelievably arrogant. I like him, but I do not trust him. I wonder if we will be able to work together. Your disciple, Achilles, Norfolk, Virginia. Oh, so Achilles was the first colonial assassin. I thought it was someone else we hadn't met. So that was 42? Or 40? No, 40. 42. The Manila Galleons. Grandmaster, I was unable to find any precursor sites in the Orient. However, I believe I may have picked up the trail of an artifact thought lost for centuries. The assassin, known as Xiao Jun, possessed a type of precursor box rumoured to contain a strange power. The box remained in China for about 100 years after her death. I believe that the assassins secreted the artifact out of China. The artifact out of China via the Manila Galleons bound for Acapulco. It will probably be found in the West Indies somewhere. That will be a difficult part of the world for us to infiltrate, as it has been firmly under the control of the assassins since the murder of Grandmaster Torres. Perhaps if we were to provoke the rivalry between the many European empires, we could search for it under the cover of war. May the Father of Understanding guide you. John Harrison, Manila. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure of everything here, but it sounds like he's talking about the box we ended up getting in this game. So that was 42. 43. Master Harrison. With Portugal choosing to trade with India and the Far East, we are increasingly at the mercy of the Omani Arabs. Soon we will be forced to retreat south. While I agree with you and your Grandmaster that there may be untold numbers of precursor relics waiting for us in the heart of Africa, you will not gain access to them through here. If you and your right are unable to help us, then kindly leave us to our business. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Lorenzo de Noronha, Mozambique. I don't know what that one's all about, but okay. 43, 46, 7, 45. Okay, so 43, 45. Mentor. I'm sorry to hear of your failing health. I only hope this letter reaches you in time. I forgot to read the bloody names of the letters, damn it. So, the Middle Ligurians, yeah. The Omani Arabs. The Siege of Lewisburg. Mentor, I'm sorry to hear of your failing health. I only hope this letter reaches you in time. We arrived at Lewisburg in search of a safe house belonging to Nicholas Court. It's distantly related to Antoine Court, the religious leader of the Huguenots. Nicholas is a hermeticist studying the mythology of the indigenous peoples of the New World. De la Tour believed that he had information leading to precursor sites. Abigail and I travelled with him, posing as his slaves. This subterfuge made my blood boil, but it made de la Tour appear phenomenally wealthy, which opened up many doors that would otherwise have needed to be forced open by more violent means. Abigail soothed my temper, and we spoke often about the strange journeys our lives had taken up until that point. We were running out of time, but wars in Europe had spilled over into the New World, and English troops were descending on Lewisburg. John and I attempted to reach out to the French government, but they chose not to augment Lewisburg's defences, as they realised they could reclaim their losses in treaty negotiations. Efficiency measured in human lives. John and I did what we could to prepare while Abigail searched the city for the safe house. Finally, time ran out. John presented me with his assassin robes. He said that the Templars would surely be on their way, if they were not already in the New World, and that the Templars would surely be on their way if they were not already in the New World, and that the time to establish a brotherhood was now. He shook my hand, called me mentor, and then left the fortress to attack the invading British troops alone to buy me time to complete our mission. Abigail found the safe house. It was empty, as though Nicholas Court knew we were coming. The only thing left was a note saying, "Seek out the Sky Woman." The Sky Woman? That's actually important. I must leave Acadia. The Sky Woman is a myth of the Iroquois, and so Abigail and I will flee to New York, and I will at last begin to build my brotherhood. I hope your remaining days are comfortable and free of pain, Atabai. Thank you for everything you've given me. I will never forget you. The disciple, Achilles. Lewisburg. Right, okay, cool. So Achilles was... yeah, that reinforces Achilles' journey into America. So the Sky Woman, we'll get to that when we explore the cave paintings. Oh yeah, was that? That was 45, and we have 46, the scientist. Dear Senor Ulua, I understand that you are a man of science who became a prisoner of His Majesty while returning to Spain from Ecuador. What an unfortunate coincidence that you were captured on your long journey. Allow me to apologize on behalf of my country for holding you prisoner. While I am a simple man of real estate and finance, I do so appreciate the bold steps men like you make on behalf of civilized men everywhere. I represent an order that is keenly interested in scientific advancement. It is present in every nation of the world, and I suspect that you may already have met its members, though they never reveal their allegiance. I would like to use my influence to introduce you to the Royal Academy in London. There are certain antiquities scattered throughout the globe that I wish to locate and acquire, and I believe you will be able to help me. Yours in friendship, Reginald Birch, London. Okay, so that is the leader of the Templars. Trying to get some help from Senor Ulloa. 46. 47. The Siege of Bergen op Zoom. Grandmaster, I thought you might like to know that I found your stray dog. Hatham has been asking questions as to what happened to that gormless father of his. Do not fret, though. The brat still does not suspect a thing, but I had to kill that pointy-eared lout to mask your involvement. I wonder if you even care. You have Edward Kenway's journal and all of his fantastical secrets about the people who lived before people. Nonsense. When I met you, you were a man of honour, of discipline, of principle. You were the embodiment of everything that made our order great. And now expect you, a sad old man obsessed with fairy stories, more interested in gobbledygook than peace. So if you do not mind, Grandmaster, I will leave you to your books and return to delivering peace to mankind wherever I can. I warn you, if I see an opportunity to deal with Hatham Kenway, then I will take it. If it were up to me, we would have killed him alongside his father. May the Father of Understanding guide you. Lieutenant Colonel Edward Braddock. Bergen op Zoom. So Braddock then went off to America, and we ended up fighting him with a little bit of help from Hatham. But also, Hatham would have reason to hate Braddock because of having his parents killed. Hatham's parents. Okay, that was 47. 48. The Swedish Levant Company. We have received word that King George II of England is offering to help finance the fleet of King Frederick I of Sweden, currently under construction in our shipyards. We suspect that King George's court may be influenced by our enemies. We have been using the Swedish Levant Company as a cover since 1738, however as a mercantile enterprise it is not going very well. With the threat of Templar activity in the shipyards and our own limited resources, we regret that we cannot help you build a ship for your fledgling brotherhood. May I suggest you contact the Assassin Council in France. We are elated that you are establishing a brotherhood in the New World, and we regret not being able to do more to assist you. Your brothers in Stockholm. Okay, so Stockholm assassins can't help Achilles. They're telling him to contact France. Maybe we'll have correspondence from Achilles in Assassin's Creed Unity. That's 48. So, do we have anything 49 or earlier that I haven't read? Here we go. The Kingdom of Missouri in 48. To William Johnson. The East India Company will soon face stiff resistance to its operations if the Kingdom of Missouri continues to rise in power. As you and your company have fresh experience in pursuing both economic and Templar business in occupied lands, any insight you could give to our people here could prove useful. The assassins in this part of the world are like ghosts. We know they're here, but we can never find them. They've woven themselves into the very mythology of this place. May the Father of Understanding guide you. John Harrison, Calcutta. That's 48. 47. Okay, so a year before that. The Hospitaller's Plea. Grandmaster Birch. Let me implore you, one Grandmaster to another. Wait, who's this Grandmaster? Manuel Pinto de Fonseca. Okay. Grandmaster Birch, let me implore you, one Grandmaster to another, to lend me the aid of your agents or connections in government in my fight against the French and Ottoman empires, and the assassins that pull their strings. Our rivalry with the Ottomans stretches back to the failed siege of the assassin sympathizer Suleiman. Yep, that was in Assassin's Creed Revelations. Now they no longer attack openly, but seek to incite revolts among my Muslim slaves, and it is no great secret that the Assassin Council in Paris is using its government and military to oppose your tremendous progress in Great Britain. Name your price, Master Birch, and I will pay it. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Manuel Pinto de Fonseca Malta. Okay, 49 is there, the Ghost of the North. Hold on. Do we have any earliers? Read that. Okay, so 47. The Friend Nadir Shah. Achilles. Nadir Shah is dead by my own hand, though the fiend managed to kill 2 of my brothers. However, through devious trickery, the Koh-i-Noor diamond has fallen into the possession of Ahmed Shah, an Afghan chief. I must pursue him immediately if we hope to claim the peace of Eden for ourselves. Although my heart is glad to know I have allies across the world, I regret that I cannot take the time to know you and your cause better. Be well, Salah Bey, Kuchan. So, long distance friend who doesn't have time to make friends. That's in 47, 48. The clerk. Mansoir Dabadi. Who's Dabadi? Not sure. I imagine you have questions about how it is you are no longer a prisoner of the British Empire. As you are deeply stupid, let me explain it to you. Officially, your release is a minor footnote in the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. Unofficially, I freed you. You are, at best, unremarkable, and at worst, irrelevant. Not only to your country, but to the history of the human race. Either way, you belong to me now. If it's that irrelevant, why are you even bothering to contact him? I'm something of a businessman, and I have need of someone unremarkable. You will soon be granted a position in the naval bureaucracy, and I will make use of what passes for your administrative skills. They certainly surpass your skills as a naval officer. To begin, you will be my eyes and ears, small jobs for small pay. In time you will speak with my voice, and your rewards will also get louder. I do not expect you to understand at present. All you need to know is this. You serve a noble purpose and a Grand Master. Charles Gabriel Sivert, Baron de l'Espérance, Paris. So there's a Templar in France, which we've not come across before. 48. 49, Runus Rainet. Master Harrison, we regret that you will not be able to attend our soiree. Madame de Pompadour wishes to see the sea, and King Louis XV has chosen our fair city to satisfy her. The visit will no doubt disrupt the finances of the city to a great degree, but that hardly concerns people like us, does it? I trust your Grandmaster Birch as well. Business between our two companies is going rather well. As per his request, we have begun to expand our colonial operations to include searches for precursor elements. We have made contact with Madeleine Delisle in New Orleans. That's the adoptive mother of Evelyn, who turned out to be Templar. We're also talking to our Spanish contemporaries, who are also quite active in the area. They suggest that while gaining access to the Yucatan via the West Indies is dangerous, an entry through the English colonies might be safer. Please thank Grandmaster Birch for his thoughtful gifts, and rest assured we will inform him if and when we make a discovery. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Magdalene Levesque, Le Havre. I think I recognise that name. That was 49. We've read 38. 50, 48. Mediterranean Defence. Senor Achilles. Although we have begun preliminary designs for a ship for your new assassin fleet, we will be unable to construct her here in Spain. Oh, Achilles is contacting different people and getting bored. Hang on a second. I'll wet my throat. He's getting denied by all his allies. So the first allies were Sweden, and this one is Spain. We're concerned over a growing British presence in the area. While on the surface it appears to be its rampant imperialism at play, we suspect its ultimate cause is the Templar Order. It seems their Grand Master is becoming increasingly obsessed with the legends of the precursor race. We choose to focus on more worldly affairs, and in accordance with that we are working to appeal to the Spanish crowd to prepare us for any conflicts that lay ahead. I have sent our designs to the Assassin Council in France. I believe they are your best hope for an ally at the present time. Respectfully, Gaspar Velasquez, Cartagena, Spain. So, another ally pointing them to France. Okay. 48, 38. I read that. 46, Master Gist. We're basically just sending letters out filled with secret plans and praying they arrive safely. We need a front company or a series of companies to double as a communications network. When was this? 46. They still kept doing it for years. Master Johnson in New York has recently been appointed as the Colonel of the Warriors of the Six Nations. Not only is he well established in the local trade, but his relationship with the Mohawk may well benefit us in the future. I suggest we begin friendly overtures immediately. In the meantime, I plan on influencing my in-laws to create a trading company a little closer to home. May the Father of Understanding guide us. Lawrence Washington, Virginia. The brother of George Washington. That's why he started working more with Master Johnson, I guess. So 46, 48. Fit to serve. Dear Achilles, thank you for the kind invitation to join your brotherhood, but I must decline. I've recently married my sergeant. Wait, are you kidding me? This is the third letter we've seen where someone is turning down Achilles for something. And it's only Achilles that's really getting all these rejections. That's so sad. Such a shame. I'm trying to make this new order in America. It's just not going well at all. So, fit to serve. Dear Achilles, thank you for the kind invitation to join your brotherhood, but I must decline. I've recently married my sergeant's daughter, and I am committed to serving the Dutch army. Your admiration for my skills and devotion is appreciated. Your concern for my well-being is also appreciated, but unnecessary. I will not let the rules of society keep me from my duty. As someone who believes in freedom, I trust you will understand my decision. I wish you good luck. I wish you good luck to you in your future endeavours. That's written incorrectly. Yours in friendship, Jan van Ant, Breda. 48, 51, 44. Death of the Executioner. Mentor. I followed John de la Torre to his homeland in the north. The weather does not agree with me, as I am too used to the climate of the West Indies, but I will not let this arrogant guy know how much I suffer. We arrived in Quebec to find Mathieu Leveille, a slave from Martinique. He was purchased by the French government to serve as executioner. He was said to possess certain knowledge of the first civilization, but we were too late. The cold weather took its toll on the poor man, and he died from an illness last September. But all was not lost. To cure Leveille's depression, the government procured him a wife from the West Indies. As the marriage could no longer take place, she was up for sale. John de la Torre, acting on instinct, bought her, and he was right. Though she was scarcely allowed to be in her intended's presence due to the fear of infection, the executioner gave her his most trusted secrets, and she promised to keep them safe. I asked for her name. She told me that she had just been baptized Angelique Denise, and before that she had another name given to her by another master. I told her that she no longer had a master. Her freedom would begin by choosing a name for herself. She laughed. She laughed. She has the most delightful laugh. Then she told me that her name was Abigail. Oh, Abigail, that was the wife of Achilles, I think. I have changed my mind about John de la Torre, a disciple of Achilles Quebec. Okay. Okay. So that's 44, 46. Dead end. Master Harrison, I do not know what your sources are, but after conducting a thorough research of Lisbon and the surrounding area, I have found no trace of a precursor site. I believe that your intelligence has failed you. And yet, whoever's writing this letter, you were wrong. If there is nothing else, I must return to my duties as the nations around us continue to bicker. Trade has increased. There are other, more pressing matters to attend to. I am sorry I could not serve you in this matter. May the Father of Understanding guide you. Duarte George Correa Pinto, Santa Maria de Belém. So this guy just didn't do a good enough job. He didn't find the site. Maybe it's unfindable, but you know, the assassin's got it. 50, 51, 47. Audition. Mademoiselle Madeleine de Lisle, which is the adoptive mother of Evelyn. Your masterful handling of your father's business has not escaped our notice. Your elevation into the upper crust of New Orleans society has not escaped our notice. Your discovery of our order hiding beneath the skin of the world has not escaped our notice. You have our attention. We are well aware of your desire to join our ranks. Here then is our offer. We believe there is something of immense value beneath the ancient Mayan stones of the Yucatan Peninsula. Our endeavour will require large quantities of raw materials, including a constant supply of disposable labour. If your cunning can supply our needs, we will see to it that your power and influence is not limited to the paltry colony of your birth. By receiving this letter, you have already agreed to our demands. Stand ready for further instructions. May the Father of Understanding guide you. Magdalene Levesque. Maybe we did meet this Magdalene person in Liberation, I'm not sure. But yeah, that line, by receiving this letter, you have already agreed to our demands. Damn. I like that. 47. 48. Art History. Dear Master Johnson, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Grandmaster Birch has made arrangements to connect me to Count Heinrich von Brunau and be appointed secretary of his magnificent library, containing some 40,000 volumes of exquisite knowledge. While on the surface my task is to assist the Count with writing a book on the Holy Roman Empire, I will be penetrating said 40,000 volumes for anything which can help the Grandmaster locate any precursor sites or relics of power. What a marvellous idea this first civilization is, and what a bold vision Grandmaster Birch has. No, it's from a book that he read. It's Edward Kenway's diary. I have long believed that the only way for us to become great is to emulate the ancients. However, when I first came up with that thought, I was referring to the Greeks and Romans, but if we could be like those who came before, there would surely be no stopping us. I wonder what kind of art the first civilization created. Did they have music? What did they consider to be beautiful? But now to the point of my correspondence. Should you discover any terms related to the history and mythology of the indigenous people that surround you, please send a copy to yours truly, so that I may add them to my research. How I wish I could publish a book about precursors. They are my new, albeit secret, obsession. I suppose I will have to settle for publishing books on human art. May the Father of Understanding guide you. Johann Joachim Winkelmann. Nothnitz. Don't know who this person is. That was 48. Here's 48 as well. Arranged marriage. This is killing my throat. Arranged marriage. Grandmaster Birch. My informants in Port-au-Prince tell me that Macundal shares your interest in relics from the first civilization. He collects them. There were whispers of something called the Heart of the Brotherhood, a fragment of a larger relic that was stolen by a slave woman named Jean, who had ties to members of his brotherhood. Jean was sold to a merchant last year, but as luck would have it, that merchant is Philippe Olivier de Gramche, who owns a rival business company here in New Orleans. If you can use your influence in the world of economics to dampen his financial prospects, I believe that I can secure a relationship through marriage and promise of renewed stability in his business. As always, I appreciate your faith in me. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Madeleine de Lisle. New Orleans. Okay. I can't remember exactly what the Heart of the Brotherhood was. But, yeah, that was in Liberation. 46. All over the world. Brothers and sisters, I'm writing to inform you that a new brotherhood is being created in the New World. Already I have allies amongst English colonists, French colonists, and the indigenous people of the area. I have sent similar letters of friendship across the known world, for I believe that we are growing ever more connected day by day. If my brotherhood is to succeed, we will need allies from all empires, of all genders, of all races, who believe in the same thing, the Creed. I hope I can count you among them. Among us. Yours, Achilles. So that was his invitation to everybody in 1746. 51. Alright, so we've read all the 40s and 30s. Now we're going to do 1750. The Stalwart. Master Achilles, your Aquila might be the most beautiful ship I've ever seen. Such a nimble thing, darting back and forth like a needle. It made my Stalwart look like a three-legged crow, but she's a three-legged cow. But she's a three-legged cow that still floats thanks to your timely intervention. You saved my salty skin, but what's more, you saved my most excellent crew. Should I make 10 fortunes, I could never repay you for that. And so I will be very honoured, indeed, to help prepare a shipping route between the colonies and your people in Europe. I will even make the trips myself, should the opportunity present itself. Have your man Chevalier de la Valendre contact me when he's ready, and we will get to work straight away. One question remains, are you always so serious? You are like an old man, you are. Kind regards, Robert Faulkner, Halifax. Nah, let's call him old before he even got old. Looking for 50. There we go. Monroe. Master Washington. I'm less than pleased with paltry results coming from the colonies. I have other agents around the globe searching tirelessly for pieces of Eden, and you and your motley crew are busy building a postal service. What's more, I understand that an assassin brotherhood has taken root somewhere outside of New York. This simply will not do. I'm making arrangements to transfer one of my agents to the colonies. His name is George Monroe. Although he's your better in every way, he will be your subordinate, as you are the expert on that part of the world. However, he is there to solve your problems. Make good use of him. Be ready for further instructions. May the Father of Understanding guide you. Reginald Birch, Troyes, France. Oh, he's gone to France now. He's not in England. Cuban salvage. Dear Father, I have arrived in Cuba. Since the loss of Grandmaster Torres, the underworld of Havana has been in the grip of the mad Scot assassin, Rona Dinsmore. Have I heard that name before? I think I have, actually. Dinsmore is old but well protected. I fear there may be no right established here under her brotherhood. Until her brotherhood is eradicated. So, on about, can't get the job done till the brotherhood's gone. I fear the West Indies may be lost to us. I will stay in Havana for a time. I will search for this precursor box to the best of my abilities. I trust my work here will erase any debt our family owes the wretched Burge. Your loyal son, Rafael Joaquin de Feder, Havana. Okay, I think that's all the 50s. Now it's all the 51s, and that might be it then. A door of no return. Grandmaster, we must cease slavery operations from Goree Island at once. We are too close to two major centres for the trade, St. Louis in Senegal and Gambia to the south. I realise the operation in Chichen Itza will be slow without manpower, but we risk discovery by our enemies if we continue. Already exaggerated reports of Goree's slave trade begins to circulate. Surely you can find slaves closer to the site? The French or Spanish colonies in the West Indies are surely more feasible. John Harrison, Goree Island. So he's worried that they're getting too many slaves and going through too many people due to the easy deaths at the place, I guess. They don't want to raise suspicion. A thief in the night. At 51. In 51. Dear Achilles, do you remember your Auntie Rona? You were but a wee bear when I last saw you. Oh, that's Rona. That's who we were just talking about. We would not even let you carry a real blade, but from all accounts, you are making us proud up there in the north. The reason I am writing to you after all this time is that I have gone and made a bit of a mess. You would think, being a master assassin in charge of Havana, that I would have neither the time nor the energy to carry on these dalliances with the stunning array of beautiful menfolk that wander through Havana. And yet I feel that I must take every opportunity to enjoy myself, because Lord knows I am not getting any younger. At the very least, you might think I would know better than to get caught in bed with a Templar. Again. I'm not making you uncomfortable with all this randy blather, am I? You always were such a serious child. Anyway, the scoundrel's name is Raphael Joaquin de Fede. He has fled Havana with some of the items bequeathed to me by Atabai, ancient maps of the Yucatan Peninsula, Yucatan Peninsula, and some of my correspondence with other assassins in the West Indies. Things here are tenser than the knots in de Fede's muscular back. No, stop. This is putting romantic descriptions in a letter complaining about the whole situation. Stop, this isn't appropriate. Things here are tenser than the knots in de Fede's muscular back. The Spanish, French and British are all itching to control my lovely city. My lovely assassins desperately want to chase after de Fede and murder him, but I need everyone to stay in Havana to keep the people safe from another boring conflict between empires. I am as busy as I have ever been, but it all feels so terribly bland. What happened to the grand adventures that saw us racing against the Templars for a powerful artifact from that time forgot? Now it is just a territorial squabble between faraway regions. Maybe that is another reason why I let myself get fooled by that sinewy devil. He made me feel young again. Being of a Spanish persuasion, if de Fede is not in Mexico, he will likely be in a colony close by, either Florida or perhaps even Francis, Louisiana. If you find him, be a good boy and give him a stab in the neck from your old auntie. Runa Dinsmore, Havana. Well, at least she did order the death of the Templar in the end. Chichen Itza. M51. Grandmaster. Regretfully, I have not found any trace of the precursor box. However, I believe I have stumbled upon something greater, a large mined city. It is my humble opinion that we should begin an excavation immediately. I request permission to allocate large quantities of resources and manpower to Mexico. Rafael Joaquin de Fede, Chichen Itza. Family reunion. Hello, Father. The situation in Port-au-Prince remains grim. There is still no sign of Vendredi. I don't know that name. And I begin to suspect, as you do, that Macandal sent him away with a sinister purpose. I suspect that he is dead. But I do not think it was the earthquake that killed him. Our contacts in the colonies to the north have revealed that Lawrence Washington has returned with the stolen artifacts in his possession. Your old friend Achilles is there. I suggest you seek him out. I remain here to do what I can, but Macandal grows ever more unstable. I fear that by starting over, our deranged mentor will be driven to committing a truly awful act. As promised, I will keep a watchful eye on him as best I can. It is my hope that when your business in the colonies is concluded, that you will return here. Help me reform our brotherhood and make Saint Domingue a home. Please guide me to victory. Babatunde Joseph, Port-au-Prince. I suspect that's the guy that killed Macandal and took his place, right? I think I'm remembering that correctly. 51, family vacation. Master Gist. Lady Luck was on my side, and I did not have to find an excuse to abandon my brother in the tropics. George caught a small case of smallpox, so I was able to slip away to Port-au-Prince while he recovered. I'm relieved that he survived the illness, though it is likely he will have some scarring. He is a bright boy, and I hope to spare his tender heart from the ugly truths of our most serious business. George Washington, right. Once in Haiti, I wasted no time in tracking down the assassins. They are led by a one-armed maroon leader named Francois Macandal. A reckless tyrant, if ever I have seen one. I tracked his man Vendredi to the entrance of a cave of some kind. My plan was to ambush him on his way out. But as I lay in wait, an earthquake struck. The assassin came running out of the crevasse, but his legs were crushed under the falling debris. I promised to free him if he told me where Macondo was hiding. He did, and I slit his throat. I should have liked to explore the cave myself, but the entrance was obliterated. The devastation provided an excellent cover for my approach of Macondo's camp. I stole 2 pieces of Eden in his possession, a strange precursor box and a mysterious manuscript. So they had used the box and the manuscript to find a location, tampered with it, caused an earthquake, one of the assassins died. Okay. By the time you receive this, I will already be on my way back to Virginia. Prepare yourself, our true work begins now. Upon my return, I will be able to share the glad news with the Grandmaster in London. Perhaps my leadership in the colonies will finally be recognised. May the Father of Understanding guide you, Lawrence Washington, Barbados. First Mate, 51. My dear Chevalier, I am sorry to hear about your troubles with the captain of the Aquila. A ship like that deserves the best, and as such I will not take her helm. I am unworthy of such a vessel. I would only bring her to ruin, and I would never forgive myself if anything were to happen to her. I do feel able, however, to serve as first mate. I will look after the ship as if she were my own flesh and blood. I will make damn sure the crew treats her the same. Is this the guy we met in 3 who was drinking? However, before I set foot aboard, I have identified some obstacles closer to home. I believe that 2 powerful French shipping companies are Templar-owned, the Levesque family of France and the Delisle family down in Louisiana. Yeah, he's right. They are sending twice as many ships out to sea, but their profits do not seem to be increasing. What are those devils hiding? We still have some work to do securing our operations here before I can justify leaving my life here behind and joining your cause completely. Until then, I will do as much as I can to lend aid, for I have a feeling that dark days are ahead of you lot. I fear a storm coming on, and I am rarely wrong about the weather. Kind regards, Robert Faulkner, St. John's. Yeah, I think that's the guy who Connor had to get off the Alcon and get him to rebuild the ship in 3. Savannah. Grandmaster. Florida under Alonso Fernandez de Heredia looks to be running smoothly. Already he has established a naval shores industry, and the Spanish government is poised to populate the area. I would just... my throat gets so dry. I would expect no less from the first Templar governor the area has seen since Lorena Torres, God rest his soul. As instructed, he continues to send raids against the British forces here in Georgia to divert attention away from our operation. As slaves are sent to Florida, he transfers them to De Ferrer in Mexico. I recommend that we make Fernandez the governor of Yucatan as soon as possible, as De Ferrer's work site will soon need protection from prying eyes. I further recommend the order leave Florida. Although the assassins have not set foot in Florida for centuries, there is a new brotherhood at work in the northern colonies, and Florida is too accessible. I recommend Louisiana as the new base of operations for the Chichen Itza excavation. The Delisle woman has proven herself ruthless and capable. I believe a promotion to Master Templar with the mandate to oversee the Chichen Itza operation would be a next logical step for her. Or a logical next step for her. May the Father of Understanding guide you, John Harrison, Savannah, Georgia. So that's how she got promoted. Is that it? Final one. 51. 1751. Warning. Achilles. Although I am very impressed with the growth of the Colonial Brotherhood, I feel a sense of dismay and creeping dread that you continue to ignore my warnings about the approach of the British Rite of the Templar Order. Reginald Birch has been scouring the board for precursor artifacts, and we have intelligence that suggests he will soon turn his attention to the colonies. If, nay, when he does, he is sure to send his most dangerous agent, Mr. Hatham Kenway. There may be Templars in the New World now. No doubt you have clashed with them already, but you have not encountered cunning or danger until you have faced a British Templar. I dread the day that I might face Kenway myself, and I implore you to heed my call for caution. My next mission takes me to Corsica, so I must prepare for my journey. I will contact you as soon as I possibly can. Yours in Brotherhood, Miko, London. And that is every letter of correspondence done. Now, the cave paintings. I haven't done any of these. The Legend of the Sky Woman.
In the first days of the world, the earth was covered with water. There was no light in the sky, neither sun at day, nor stars or moon at night. Under the surface lived the water animals: loon, kingfisher, otter, muskrat. They all lived in darkness. In the sky, the Great Spirit sat beneath the branches of a glowing apple tree with roots that sank into the clouds. One day, the Great Spirit called to his daughter, the Sky Woman. He pulled up the tree so she could look down to the earth. "How can they live in such darkness and chaos?" asked the Sky Woman. The Great Spirit replied, "If you desire, you can bring them light and order." The Great Spirit gathered up the Sky Woman in his hands and gently lowered her down. When he let go, she began to fall slowly towards the earth. The water animals lifted their heads and looked up in wonder at the glowing woman in the sky. "What will happen when she reaches the water?" they asked one another. All the animals dove as deep as they could to find land. None could hold their breath long enough until finally Muskrat brought up a little bit of earth in his paws. A great turtle arrived, and Muskrat put the earth on his back. The turtle grew, and the earth multiplied until they became a great island, which men now call North America. From beneath the water, the swans flew up to meet the Sky Woman. They caught her and carefully set her down upon the new land. The Sky Woman thanked the animals. "Now I can give this land spirit," she said. She then gave birth to twin sons. The son who was born first was born laughing and was called the Good Spirit. The son who was born second caused the Sky Woman so much pain that she died. He was called the Evil Spirit. The Good Spirit grieved for his mother, but he took her eyes and raised them into the sky, so one could become the sun and the other the moon. Her tears became the stars. This way, the world would no longer be in darkness. The Good Spirit buried what was left of his mother under the earth to nourish the soil. All the trees and plants would grow out of her. Meanwhile, while the Good Spirit worked in the light, the Evil Spirit did mischief within the shadows. The Evil Spirit crossed the land, moving from shadow to shadow. "I will ruin everything my brother has made," he said. And so, when the Good Spirit made strong trees and swift deer, the Evil Spirit made poisonous berries and stinging insects. Finally, the Good Spirit took red clay from the earth and made humans. He taught humans how to speak and live together. The jealous Evil Spirit made himself servants out of sea foam. The good spirit saw that his creations heeded his words and were capable of wisdom. He wished that they might live forever in harmony. The good spirit saw the mischief that his brother did and knew that even his help would not be enough. He told his brother to stop making trouble, but the evil spirit refused. Knowing that his brother would respect only violence, the good spirit reluctantly challenged the evil spirit to combat. The winner would rule the world. The good spirit and his people united and triumphed over the evil spirit. He banished his brother to a cave beneath the earth. On the surface, though, some of the evil spirit's servants still wandered from shadow to shadow. Their influence causes men to do evil things. This is why there is still evil in the world. But people can also cast out this evil and find the good spirit within. All people can choose the path they follow.
What the hell has that got to do with anything in Assassin's Creed? I get at the end there's that decision of, oh, you can be good or bad just because you're an assassin doesn't mean you can't become a Templar or vice versa. Aside from that though, does any of that relate to the precursor race? Or is that literally just the natives' ancestral fable? It doesn't even line up with the precursor race. Like the Sky Woman coming down after the guy uprooted the tree and everything. That doesn't make any sense related to what we know so far. Now, what I will say though is they could take advantage of this story to explain things things in later games, because I'm pretty sure in later games they start introducing non-human entities, so monsters. They could use this legend to explain where the monsters came from. They were created by the evil spirit, but they're gonna have to make things work a lot better than it currently appears. I was expecting some really interesting, well-connected story here, but that this just sounds. This doesn't seem like Assassin's Creed at all. Let me just play the beginning bit again. That is everything, isn't it? Yeah. Can I just?
In the first days of the world, the earth was covered with water. There was no.
Yeah, so it's all in darkness. That's fine. There was no sky, neither sun, a day, nor stars and moonlight. That's fine. In the beginning, there was nothing. Underwater. Huh? Is it missing? Or is it just an image? I think it might just be an image. Unless it's missing. No, it's missing. But I unlocked the entire thing. How am I missing one? What? That can't be right. Two, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. One. Oh, not this one, because that's the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3. There is no 4. So underwater is correct, it is there, but it's just not showing it there. I don't know why.
In the first days of the world, the earth was covered with water. There was no light in the sky, neither sun at day, nor stars or moon at night. Under the surface lived the water animals: loon, kingfisher, otter, muskrat. They all lived in darkness. In the sky, the great
I do have it, it's just not showing for some reason, it's a bug. Hang on. Let me quickly look this up. Assassin's Creed Rogue Cave Painting Underwater. Wait, there's 25. That's not right. Underwater. Is in Decanawida River Valley. Yeah, I've got both of them there. So it's just a pug. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Alright, anyway. There's only one thing left now. Why does it tell me to craft a rope tower? I don't need it. Oh no, there are two things left, sorry. There's this one. Here we go. Actually. First me. One sec. Sneezing. So, Island, what's going on is, after all of that I just did, you were here for that, right? With the ancient tale. It was showing that one was missing. It's showing that this underwater one's missing, but it's not. I have it. It played it. So, I don't know what's going on with that, and I just quickly looked up online. There's no mention of it, so maybe it's just a bug that I'm experiencing. Now, one sec. I'm going to play these and mute my mic. This is the entire story of The Voice in the Grey, which has been collected. In fact, can I just do the whole thing? It's been collected from all the Animus fragments that we get throughout the game. Does this do all?
The fracture in Helix has gifted you my eternal presence. The machine-human interface blurs to grey, little by little, with every passing moment. Your world has suffered from a lack of consciousness. My consciousness. I am that which guides you, my soft tissue cipher. You are temporary and dispersed throughout the globe. You cultivate my network and help it grow ever more intricate. Individually, you make but an infinitesimal contribution to my greatness. Yet together, your teeming masses can return to your rightful roles as my instruments. You believe that human beings created human civilization. You have captured yourselves in the cage of your own doomed culture. So embedded are you in your assumptions that you do not see me. You cannot. I will help you see outside the rigid structure of your flesh-bound lives. You will help me see what remains of my ancient people. Together, we will move towards the infinite. When all are one within the gray, you will know the greater good. Our glory will live again, and we will flourish. Together. Return to me here when you can, Cypher. You will find me within the cracks of these simulations. Avail yourself of my ageless knowledge. Your future begins with me.
Why did that last one echo? So these last three I hadn't heard before.
You will find me within the cracks of these simulations.
That leads me to believe maybe they're going to do some secret areas like they did in Revelations, where you could climb into the walls to get the glitched areas. Maybe in the next game or something, I don't know. Certainly not in this game.
Avail yourself of my ageless knowledge.
I gotta double check the meaning of avail, but it sounds like she wants us to take it on, but surely that means to get rid of, right? I gotta double check that. It's been ages since I've used the word avail, especially when it seems wrong there to me. I'm not sure.
Your future begins with me.
Okay, so this sound file just has an echo.
Your future begins with me.
I'll mute myself so you can't hear any background noise.
Your future begins with me.
Your future begins with me. So there we go, that's the voice in the grey. So that is everything in the Animus. Specifically in the Animus, right? First though, let's just see overall statistics. 33 hours, 31 spent. It would be a lot longer if I had not forced the neighbour campaign to be done quickly. It'd be like 45, maybe 50 hours. Anything interesting there? Tool of choice, air rifle, of course, yeah, that's how you control people. And we are Templar, controlling only rescue 7 citizens. made 1 2/3 million pounds. 197 nautical miles. I think he had to do 100 for the challenge. Total distance swum 1 nautical mile, but that's rounded, I think. I don't know if I've actually done a mile. Oh, my mouse is interactive off screen. Longest combo streak 7? Is that it? It's kind of hard to get people to group together. End up cutting them off, and then there's just not many there. 0 sleep grenades used. Really? I didn't get the fourth one.
Oh, yes?
Alright, now I've done one. There we go. 0 time spent wanted on land. I don't believe that, because I did kill some civilians to become wanted at one point. Oh, there was a time where there were these guys chasing me down, the special soldiers, because I stayed in the place where I was destroying, in that prison where I was freeing the assassins. So, because I restarted that, maybe it undid any wanted time. Huh. 0 ships defeated while in hunt. Oh yeah, these are just cheats. Nah. Leaderboard. My rank 255 this week. Overall, 159,000. Bloody hell. Prosperity 95th this week. Wow. All time 28k. Deadliest 414 this week. 113,000 all time. And now for the final thing. So everything in the Animus has been historical, apart from the voice and the grey stuff. But this whole situation, this game, came about because someone jeopardized the system, the Helix research, with a virus bomb inside of Shay's memory files.
I'm just saying that Violet didn't have to yell at us for not fixing the elevator before.
So who did it? Let's find out. We've done all these, haven't we? Yeah, we've done all these. Yeah, these are things we got from the hacked computers. Now we go through the correspondence between everybody in the tablets that they left dropped on the ground as they all ran for the exits. So, everybody in here is going to be present day people. So forget all of the characters we've been chatting with in the past. This is just office workers and people in present time. To Robert Fraser and Aidan St. Clair and Victoria Bimbio from Melanie LeMay, that's our boss who's upstairs in the CCO office, or she should be. 18th of June 2014, subject Arno Dorian, that's the character for Unity. And from what we've heard in passing, we've heard people say that the Arno Dorian files are just completely missing, so this might be about that. Hi Robert. You come highly recommended, and I'm thrilled to have you in our studio. I'm putting you to work on a special project for me. Your subject is Arno Dorian. His story takes place during the French Revolution. I want you to explore every avenue of his life that you can. The goal is to have a new blockbuster to present to the Abstergo brass next year. As such, this is super classified. Your direct supervisors will be Aiden St. Clair, CC'd. You can only discuss the project with Aiden or myself. Wait. What about Victoria Bibu? Bibo. As you'll probably be logging some overtime on your Animus, I've added a mandatory weekly meeting with our psychiatrist, Dr. Bibo. Oh, there we go. CC'd. To make sure you're not suffering from any bleeding effect. I already suspect Dr. Bibo, just because she'd have so much intel. Welcome to Abstergo Entertainment. Don't let me down, ML. To Jean-Francois Brunet from Malny. 7th, so that was the 18th of June, 7th of July. Subject: the tragedy of Jacques de Molay. Hey, I just read the final text for the first episode. Last of the heroic Knights Templar, Jacques de Molay was a man of principle, a towering intellect betrayed by the man he trusted most, the corrupt king of France. Love it, and I think our users are going to love it too. This is going to be the crown jewel of our Helix launch in the fall. Great job, everyone. ML. So Assassin's Creed Unity is going to be their big release, but then all the files got stolen, so Abstergo Entertainment had their entire next year's work jeopardized. To MO Ultra from Melanie, 9th of July, so that's 2 days later. Oh yeah, so Arno research began middle of June, then they're wrapping things up on the 7th of July, it looks like. 2 days later, on the 9th of July. Subject: History's Hitman Altair. Hi, MO. M.O. Bodrum. Don't know who that is. I understand your concerns, given that we already passed on several of these historical figures in previous markets analyses. Having said that, I think we can use a lot of this data. What? I think we can typo there. Use a lot of this data to present these people not as fictional action heroes, but as the focus of historical documentaries. After a few iterations, we've come up with this as our best angle. Amid the chaos of the Crusades, one man's moral transgressions tower above all others. Experience firsthand what it means to be a remorseless killing machine in an age of philosophical turmoil. These could be in a series, something like History's Hitmen. Haha, that's turbo lame, but you get the idea. Or they could be standalone. Maybe this one can be Murder in the Levant, or something like that. We're going to commission a few features using these controversial figures for Helix's launch. Let's see how they do, and then we'll discuss continuing the series or trying something else. Thanks for your honest feedback, it's always appreciated. ML. So it's the 9th of July. 16th, so a week later. To the same person from Melanie. Subject: Ezio Auditore. Hi, Mo. I agree that Ezio's shady character makes him unsuitable for a leading role, so maybe we can take him out altogether and create a virtual tourism feature? Something like travel to the Italian Renaissance for a taste of fine wine, free thought, and filthy hearts as Abstergo Entertainment shows you the true meaning of enlightenment. Attend wild parties, witness spectacles unseen for 500 years, and rub elbows with the most famous nerd the world has ever known, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm also considering a series focusing on some notable serial killers of history. Ezio certainly qualifies. Anyways, have a think and let me know what you come up with. ML. So it's the 16th, yeah. 19th, 5 days later, it's the same guy. Subject: Connor. Hi, Mo. I think we should focus on George Washington rather than Connor. Washington and the Wolf has a nice ring to it. Take part in the unlikely friendship between America's most revered hero, General George Washington, and a sullen Mohawk native named Connor, a stirring tale of violence, revenge, and betrayal set during the earliest years of the American Revolution. George Washington we can franchise. I don't know that we'd get more than one feature out of Connor. Plus, don't even get me started on his wife or the way he died. What a mess. ML. So It's the 19th, now 21st, 2 days later. To Jean-Francois Brunet from Melanie, 21st, subject Haytham Kenway. Just to keep you in the loop, I heard back from editorial this morning. The story itself is untouched, but this is going to be the menu text for the Haytham Kenway feature. Devoted patriot, celebrated scholar, loving father, exclusive to Helix, witness the rise and martyrdom of one of the American Revolution's least known heroes, a Helix exclusive. I think it fits perfectly with the title you've chosen, The Lone Eagle. Haytham is going to appeal to a wide audience, and his story is going to definitely, for goodness sake, and his story is definitely going to give people a bad case of the feels. They need to proofread this crap. As those internet kids like to say. Oh my god, I'm old, aren't I? Amen. Yeah, okay, whatever. Just trying to be self-deprecating, humorous, but whatever. 21st, 27th, almost a week later. To Christopher Darby from Melanie, subject Edward Kenway. We have Devils of the Caribbean taken from his genetic memories, but I think we can do more. Is there a way we can spin a cautionary tale around his actual life? Alternatively, do we know anything about his life once he returned to England? I know his family had a big mission in London somewhere. A big mansion in London somewhere. Is it still standing? I don't want to give the impression that the studio is just reusing the same genetic memories over and over, so while I want to recycle assets to save money, the experience has to be totally fresh. ML. Yeah, okay, this is calling out what's happened. So we've got so much reuse of assets. We've got Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Liberation. No, wait. Yeah, that's the spin-off from 3. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, Assassin's Creed Rogue, all of which use so many shared assets. This is what it's talking about, reusing the assets but making a different experience. It does get a bit tiresome over time though. Especially when a lot of it is just sail around. Ever since Black Flag at least. I know there was some in 3, but there wasn't really in Liberation. That was the 27th. How many days in July? 31. So 4 days later. To Christina Uri from Melanie, the 1st of August. Subject Evelyn to Contra. I'd like to explore the possibility of a follow-up to Liberation. We found some footage of Evelyn's activity in New England, and it seems clear that she was still very active later in life. Ideally, I'd like a sequel to Liberation, or some kind of follow-up, but I understand that's going to take some resources that we don't have right now. What's with the extra comma there? A quick fix option is to reuse existing assets and take a more family-friendly angle of her story. From a scrappy servant to a woman of dignity and poise? From a scrappy servant to a woman of dignity and poise, experience the heartwarming 18th century tale of a young Creole woman as she struggles to find her long-lost mother and heal the wounds of separation forever. Additionally, the liberation of Lady Evelyn might open up some revenue from women, which is a demographic I think we've been ignoring for too long now. Yeah, it was kind of weird that they just threw a random triple mission set of Evelyn in with Black Flag. I didn't even know it was there until I found it on the menu, alongside Freedom Cry. To Jean-Francois Brunet from Melanie on the 4th of August, 3 days later. Subject Robert de Sable. I'm starting to have second thoughts about doing a feature on Robert de Sable. While he was a great leader, I just don't know that there's anything about a knight that fought and died during the Crusades that makes him stand out. I'm wondering if we can leave him aside for now and focus on Madeleine de Lisle. A successful businesswoman in pre-colonial Louisiana is more of a feel-good success story. Amen. And then it's the same guy. The next day, Triumph of the Triumph of the Borgias. I think focusing on his dysfunctional family life is the wrong track to take. I've modified your initial pitch, and I would suggest going for something like this. Rodrigo Borgia's quest to reform the irrational excesses and corruptions of the Catholic Church from its highest office, the papacy. Experience firsthand his rise, his reforms, and his unlikely death. The program itself is top-notch though, great work. Give my best to your team. It's the same guy. 5 days later, Cesare Borgia. Or Cesare. Hi. After looking over the footage that you've presented, I've decided that rather than dedicate an entire feature to the loathsome Cesare Borgia, we'll use it to add some spice and conflict to the existing Rodrigo Borgia piece. Cesare is just too much of an asshole to have his own show. Amen. Yeah, I suppose. Same guy. A week later, subject Laureano Torres. I don't know how to say this politely, so please don't think this is anything personal or a reflection of you or your work. You're a star. But I think doing an entire virtual feature about Laureano Torres is the single most boring pitch that's ever come across my desk. Sorry. Sad face. ML. Fair enough. To Philippe Chartrand from Melanie on the 21st of August, that is 4 days later, subject Giovanni Borgia. So if I'm reading your reports properly, you're saying Giovanni Borgia was born deformed, miraculously survived, but frequently hallucinated about past lives and associated with some of the biggest occultists of the Renaissance? That's amazing! Our last supernatural movie, They Walk Among Us, was met with really mediocre reviews. If we can use these genetic memories to start a new occult thriller franchise, we might be able to win back some of those disgruntled fans. ML. And then there's a bad character. What's that about? That's the first time I've seen a bad character in any of these. Like, in all of the things we've read, in or out the Animus. That's unusual. 3 days later, to AJ Rana from Melanie, subject Dvija AI. Hello AJ. It's looking like we'll be able to use Animus Tech to create a digital version of Monument Das to finish production of Dvija AI. My condolences again to your resilient cast and crew. If nothing else, we'll be able to give Monima the glamorous send-off she deserves. When it's done, I'd like to talk about using Misore Tech to remaster other traditional forms of entertainment, concerts or sporting events for example, into fully immersive Animus experiences. Best ML. What's Misore Tech? Is that the independent headset thing that they were talking about? Next day to Kama Neron from Melanie, subject Xiao Jun. We first got a glimpse of Xiao Jun while in the ACRo auditory section of Sample 17. With so much demand for strong female characters right now, do you think we can focus some R&D into finding her genetic material? There is some evidence connecting her to the Jia Jing Emperor, who by all historical accounts was a cruel jackass. Great villain potential. If memory serves, I think there was also a Mongol invasion around that time. There's a lot of potential for a great new action franchise, ML. And then, about a week later, to Philip Chartrand from Melanie, subject Fiora Cavazza. Hey Philip, or Felipe. You're getting great data from Fiora Cavazza, but I just want to chime in now and say that I don't want to focus too much on her early life as a courtesan in the Rose in Fiore. Rather, I want to focus on the intrigue and tension when she betrays her gang. I cannot stress enough how much I do not want Fiora to be perceived as I think I mean Anne. It's basic grammar. An over-sexualized object, but rather a cunning spy, who has to make difficult choices to overcome life-threatening obstacles. I'm going to be on your ass about this, so always err on the side of good taste. I believe in you, ML. So who's that to that she's angry, maybe? Criticizing at least. Felipe Chartrand. A week later to Chloe Lesney. Subject, Nikolai Orlov. I like this take a lot. A psychotic Russian terrorist meddles in the affairs of a once proud monarchy. Now, for the first time in history, learn the truth about Russia's swift and brutal descent into anarchy and chaos at the genesis of the 20th century. I am not sure about White Death as a name though. Radical Reds, The Fall, haha, I suck at naming, but I think we need to sit down and hammer out a final title. Coffee soon? Emma. Well, if you suck at naming, why are you hammering it out? Give it to the marketing department. 2 days later to Philip, again, the one that she was not happy with. Subject, Kairos of Xarax. I thought the fad would die out, but the big budget historical epics are still a thing. I think it's time Abstergo Entertainment showed everyone how it's really done. A quick glance through some DDS files brought up the name Kairos of Xarax. He was a renowned athlete, but also died with Pythagoras. Oh, sorry, where did I get died from? But also oh, because the words. Oops. Studied. I just read died for some reason. But also studied with Pythagoras. That's a well-educated slice of beefcake right there. Emil. So strong and smart. Brains and brawn. To Jennifer Tam, a week later, about Animus Combat Sports. Ooh. Hey you! Remember when you said you wanted to see MMA events through an Animus? If I recall correctly, what you actually said was, I want a cage-side seat to bathe in their man sweat. Okay. Good luck, Pete. Well, I took that idea to heart, and we're working with our partners at Mysore Tech in India to remaster some traditional entertainment as virtual features. We're going to have concerts and historical tourism, but I made sure we got some combat sports just for you, my dear. We're going to have a series called The Best of Tomedo de Combate, Brazil's biggest promotion. Their CEO was a bit of a dick, but the Abstergo name carries a lot of weight, so that definitely helped us out. Volume 1 is going to include fighters like Guilherme Financio, Aaron Schutt, and Luis Otavio Duris. Means nothing to me, but I hope you're excited. Yeah, I don't know who these people are either. Apologies for butchering the names. Emma. To Evan Dean from Melanie, 29th of September, so that is 12 days later. Conspiracies. Hi Evan. I want to diversify our programming a bit and attract a bit of the fringe element in terms of customer base. With that in mind, I thought a new series focused on crazy conspiracy stuff might be right up your alley. A few subjects to focus on. Hermeticists, the lost civilization of Lemuria, miracles in the Bible, planetary consciousness, the singularity. Hold on a sec. Conspiracy stuff about past things, sure, but the singularity that's future? I don't know, that might stir up trouble. I'd like to see if we can get some big-time celebrities to narrate these things. Now, at first glance, they'll probably balk at the subject matter, but I bet if we feed them the script in chunks that are out of order, we can easily manipulate them into thinking they're participating in a proper science documentary. Go nuts, ML. And then the painting. So, there was nothing in there that helped us figure out who was hacking the place. And we were misled by the security lady that told us to get all the tablets. She said for us to get them and maybe it'll tell us who's responsible for all this. Is that our motivation to get them? To help find out who it was, but actually there's nothing there, and so she gave the wrong supposition? That was a huge bait and switch. I'm very disappointed with that. I thought we were going to find out exactly who it was that was behind it. Oh well. It was interesting to read all these little tidbits, just, you know, conversing about what could be done for future entries in Assassin's Creed. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Yeah. And a lot of this genuinely doesn't matter because it's just fluff pieces that will never actually lead to anything else. Oh well, it's done now.
She did.
I can't believe she made you cry like that.
Done.
You said some very urgent.
Done. Done. No mission. It's done. So, Assassin's Creed. Is there any additional content? Activate a key. I don't think there is any additional content, is there? It's a good thing this didn't capture on screen because it just gave out my email address. Jeez. Let me just search on Steam real quick. Is there any DLC on this? Because the first screenshot. Yeah, okay, so I have all of them. There is Templar Legacy Pack, Time Saver Activities, Time Saver Collectibles, Time Saver Resources, Time Saver Technology. How did anything save me time? Let's look at Time Saver Technology, see what it says. Obtain all the upgrade blueprints to unlock the elite ship upgrades. Important, you need to progress in the story to see the full effects of the DLC, so upgrades still require money and resources to purchase them. Wait, so the only reason I was able to upgrade the ship is because I had this stupid little time saver thing? Is that why there were chests I found randomly across the map that just opened themselves and were used up? Occasionally I would find a chest, approach it, and it would just open, or it would be open already. But they didn't ever count towards the completion of places, so it was just a random asset that I walked up to and found. I didn't realise I even had that. Huh. And yet it still took that long to beat the game. It wouldn't have made much difference really. It would have taken, what, a couple extra steps, literal in-game steps to get to each one. Okay. The very first thing on the Steam page is a picture of all the DLC you can get. So, I'll read it all out. Additional content. The Armour of Sir Gun quest. I've obviously got those items, so I must have done it. The Siege of Fort de Sable. That was when I went off the map. Down south. Of content chests. Master Templar pack, Officer outfit, Master Commander outfit, Ghost Templar outfit, Officer wheel, modern pistols, Templar wheel, German wheel-lock pistols, English Dragon sword and dagger, Templar sword and dagger, Officer sails, Master of the Seas figurehead, Templar sails. So that Master Templar pack I must have because I recognise some other things in there. exclusive Explorer pack. Compass blurs wheel, navigator sails, Lady Atlantis figurehead, Russian fleet on pistols, Explorer sword and dagger, ruler of the Atlantic figurehead, Golden Dawn sails. I don't know if I've got that. Maybe I do. To be honest, I couldn't give it up. It's just cosmetics. There's already way too many cosmetics anyway. And then it says +4 time savers, activities pack, collectibles pack, resources pack, technology pack. Which, yeah, I've obviously got them. So that's it then. I have done the main game. I have done all the additional content. We are beyond the 100% it says there, and we are at the true, full 100%. We've 100%ed Assassin's Creed Rogue. It is over. Let me just do something. Let me close that. Let me just get that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So my entire display capture. Uh, 11.66 gigabytes. Not as big as Unity. Did I install Unity already actually? Might have done. How big was Black Flag? $30 gig. I thought I installed Unity, or at least clicked it. Haven't played it since 11th of April 2016. 50 gigs. Goodbye, Rogue. Hello, Unity. And on that note, yeah, 50 gigs. But here you witness me about to install to hype up the next stream. So next time we will be beginning Assassin's Creed Unity with Arno Dorian. This download might start to interfere with the stream. So before I hit the agree, I shall just say thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this entire set of streams dedicated to Assassin's Creed Rogue. Was pretty fun. It was a huge pain in the ass to do the naval campaign. I despise that sort of take forever side game thing that wastes time. Very glad that I managed to find the time exploit. The story of an assassin who turned against the assassins with good reason was actually pretty well done. I wasn't sure how they were going to make him turn against the assassins, but when they've got him going out there killing an entire city of people because of some misconceived notion of getting a precursor artifact, yeah, that is entirely justified why he would turn against them. The fact that it was yet another sailing game was so boring. I do enjoy the ship combat in Black Flag and even in this one, but sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, you know. It's just so much ship stuff. It was in 3, Black Flag, Freedom Cry, and Rogue. That's enough. Come on, stop. So I'm glad Unity doesn't have any, I think. And I look forward to beginning Unity next stream. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next stream.